back at you again with another, another one. It's a beautiful day in the great state of North Carolina. You know, on the East Coast. And you know what they say about the East Coast? The East Coast is the best coast. I'm not really on the coast, but it's close enough. It's close enough. You know, I'm in the Eastern time zone. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. But hey, you know, the weather is what's looking like it was about to have a tropical rainstorm outside, boy. I'm telling you. This weather ain't no joke. It's been hot over the past 2 days. Hey, I love it. The cold weather is departed. Whew. God, this was a tough winter, boy. Whew. I'm telling you. The cold winter has departed. Man, it's about time, man. I've been waiting on the warm weather. Ooh, wait. Mm. Mm-mm. I'm telling you. You know. But yeah. You know, it's another what's going on in this crazy, beautiful world that we live in. A lot of craziness going on in this world. Some of the stuff I'm down with. Majority of stuff I'm not. Majority of stuff I'm not down with. That's going on out here these days. I just stay in my lane, and I pick and choose what I want to do. That's how I approach things these days. I don't judge nobody what they do, but I'm not doing it. There's certain things I'm just not doing. You know. Now here's the thing. A lot of people. I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but some people will approach me and say, "Hey, man, what you think about this and that?" I say, "Hey, man, that ain't cool to me, but if that's what you doing, hey, that's cool. Knock yourself out." You know what I'm saying? But I'm not doing that shit. You know, I think a lot of times a lot of people will ask me certain things just to see what I'm gonna say. A lot of times, you know, and they already know that they pretty much have a good idea of what I'm gonna say. So I don't even know why they waste their time. I think some people just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they want some attention, or they want people to validate what they already know to be true. I don't know, but you know, that's I think a lot of people have you know, they have their own thing going on a lot of times. But hey, yeah. But hey, you know, somebody asked me the other day if you know, they kind of asked me what's up with the if I ever get in a relationship with benefits type relationships. And I'm like, what? No, I never really entertained that type of shit. I remember I was talking this was a while ago, probably like over 10 years ago. Yeah, smash the like button, even if you're looking at the playback. I remember this like 10 years ago. I want to say I was in Atlanta at the time. So this is a little less than 10 years. I was talking to this white broad. That was somewhere, man. She was a big fat girl, white girl too. She was like 300 pounds. That type of white girl. 300. Easy. You know? And she was telling me about all the... She moved from New Hampshire to Atlanta. And she loved being in Atlanta because being that she's a white woman, the guys in Atlanta would roll out the red carpet for her. I'm like, what? I'm just looking at her. I let her talk. I didn't interrupt. I want to hear this shit. I want to hear where this is going. She's like, oh, I love it here. You know, the guys roll out the red carpet for me down here, and where I came from, I don't get the time of the day. I'm like, oh, God. You know, what type of dudes do you be meeting? You know, and that's what I'm thinking in my mind, right? And she was like, yeah, she said, I'll be online on, I think it's online booty call. Yeah, OBC. Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I'll be online. I'll be getting booty calls all the time from guys or whatever. And then she was like, yeah, I like having friends with benefits. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's that? And she was trying to explain to me what it entails. I'm like, nah, I don't even do no shit like that. Why would I do that? Why would I have a relationship like that with you, of all people, you know, or anybody? And she was like, well, why not? I said, okay, that's you. You do your thing. Different stroke for different folks. But I said, no, I don't really get down. I don't have to do it. That's the point I'm trying to make to her. I don't have to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I get the girls. I get girls all the time. Even when I ain't trying. You know what I'm saying? So why would I have to have relationships like that? I said, look, if I'm really in a drought, I can get on the phone, call somebody right now. And they'll come over. Or I'll go over there, with her house. It's not like I, can't get none. You know what I'm saying? So I got to have getting a friends with benefits type shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I have issues with women. I don't have issues with women at all. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes we don't see eye to eye, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Some people see things different. We agree to disagree, and we go our separate ways. That's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's not going to agree with everything. You know what I'm saying? There's some people we might disagree, but we still can coexist and be around each other at the same time. And then sometimes we can't coexist. Sometimes we have to go our separate ways. And then sometimes some people really do grow apart. You know what I'm saying? It happens. Now, I don't think it happens the way some people say it happens. I think when most people say they grew apart, I don't think they ever was together in the first place. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's bullshit. But I've had relationships with people where they just go lame. They fell off for whatever reason. Maybe they got beat up in life. Maybe they stressed out all the time, overworked, whatever. Depressed, people die, they get sick, whatever the case is, some people go lame and they fall off. And then they become like a parasite, and then they start doing things that I don't like. They cross my boundaries. They might have did some shit to take advantage of me. And if that happens, you do it once, I'll be like, hey man, that shit ain't cool. Or if you say something I don't like, I'll be, hey man, that shit ain't cool. You went too far. If you do it once, okay, we'll talk about it. You do it twice, that's it. I gotta fall back now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really have, you have to understand, when most people get into swinging and booty call relationships and all these wild, crazy type of relationships. They do it because they have to do it. That's their alternative in most cases. If I'm going to do it, I'm doing it because I want to do it. There's a big difference. You know, I don't have to get into those type of relationships because I do what the fuck I want to do. That's basically it. You know, people that get into these alternative relationships with men and women and couples, and they go to these parties. They go to these parties because they feel like they have to do it. Because there's no other alternative, because that's how bad it's gotten in their relationships. That's how bad it's gotten in their relationships. It's gotten to a point where it's so bad they're like buddies and roommates and they live together. You know what I'm saying? That's completely different versus somebody like me, where it's like I can really do anything I want. I don't have issues with women or men and women. I don't have issues with anybody. I can basically do whatever I want. I know people all over the country, all over the world at this point. So it's not like I have to get into these structured relationships. That's what it really is. This is why a lot of couples like going to parties, because everything is very structured before they even show up, before they get there. You know what I'm saying? Everything is. A lot of people feel like they want things to be in order before they get there, because they don't really have to put in no work. They don't have to talk very much, if at all, because everybody's there for basically the same thing. Y'all have something in common even before you show up. So by the time somebody shows up, most people are drinking already, some drunk, they're not in their right mind. So it's kind of like, okay, But if those people weren't drinking or getting high, they wouldn't be able to do what they do at them parties. They wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't have the balls and the gumption and the spine to do it, to pull it off. Yeah, so that's why people like going to certain dating websites online. It's the same thing. Same reason behind it. Before you get to the website, even before you register for an account, you already know what the website is about. The website is a sugar daddy website. It's a swingers website. It's a Match.com, a regular website. It's a religious website. Christian. It's a Christian website. It's a Mormon website. It's a Jewish website. It's a Muslim website. I can go on and on. But whatever's on that website, people look at it like, okay, those people are just like me. You know what I'm saying? They're just like me. We have something in common already. I don't even know them yet, but we have something in common, which would be religion. If I'm a Muslim or Christian or whatever the case is, so I'm gonna go to the Christian website. If I'm a Christian, that's the first thing we have in common. And then when you register for an account and you happen to meet a woman, you're like, not only is she a Christian, I'm attracted to her, right? And then you get to know her and say, oh, she stayed right down the street from me, So we live in the same neck of the woods. That's the third thing you have in common already. And then you go on and on and on and on from there. That's structured. That's structured. It might not be a physical thing, not so much, but it's more of a mental thing. That's why I say relationships is psychological, because it is. You know, the more things you have in common, the more you of a connection y'all gonna have. You know, and the same reason people go online to these websites is the same reason why people go to private parties. It's the same thing.
Your phone is ringing. Pick up your phone.
I gotta call her back. Yeah, I'm getting a phone call while I didn't know my phone could ring while I was online. That's the first. I gotta call him back. You know, Bernie Mac looking. I don't know about that, but I take that. I like Bernie Mac. Well, people like structure. Some people need structure. Some people need it. You know what I'm saying? But I think some people take structure too far sometimes. I'll explain. Some people take structure too far because they never develop a personality. They never develop a personality. See, I never thought it was a good idea, and I still don't think it was a good idea to depend on one thing. That's a recipe for disaster. Don't ever depend on one thing. Never. One job, one car, one house, one shoes. I mean, I can go on and on. One girl, depending on one thing is a recipe for disaster. You know, it's just. So why would you depend on just your person? Why would you depend on just a structure, a law, a public policy? That's where people take things too far. Because see, there's a lot of guys online. They be online talking about how they want to change the law, how they want the laws and the public policy to change, to put women back in line and all that wild, crazy shit. You know, because they don't want to really compete and put in no work, and they don't want to develop a mouthpiece. So what they rather do is become a pencil pusher if they could. They want to put women back in line and all this weirdo shit. That's going too far, in my opinion. They want to whip, strong arm a bitch. Come back over here. Yeah, out of line. You know, that type of crazy weirdo shit. There's a lot of guys out here that's like that think like that. You know, they don't really want to talk to women and like build a real relationship. They don't want to do it that way. They just want to be able to whip the woman back in line with laws and public policies. Yo, you got some weirdos out here, man. You know, weirdos out here, bro. You know, and then a lot of these guys be online. They're talking about women all day long. They'll spend 2, 3, 6, 12 hours talking about what women ain't doing for hours and hours. I don't know how you do that shit. I don't know how you do that shit, man. After about an hour, I'm tired. I was on some lady's podcast last week. I was on somebody's podcast last week. And she said, hey, how much time you got? I said, I can go an hour. You know, I said, after an hour, I start getting tired. After that. You know what I'm saying? I can't go but so long. You know? And plus, it was, what time was it? It was like 1 o'clock. It was 1 o'clock when she was had me on, when I was being interviewed by her. And I was already kind of tired anyway because I didn't get enough sleep at the night, you know, prior to. But after an hour, I started getting tired. I can't talk for 2, 3, 6 hours about the same old shit over and over and over again. Man, come on, man. especially online. Most people online today is a bunch of foreigners today from countries everywhere. You know, so I mean, I don't know how it is where they from. You know, I've been to a lot of these places, but I don't keep up what's going on in society in all these damn countries. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't care what's going on in these other people's countries. I live in America. I don't live anywhere else. You know? And whatever is going on in these countries, it ain't got nothing to do with me. And it doesn't affect me one bit. You know? Now if some of these women were to come around me, I don't care what she talking about. That ain't gonna work. Or she ain't gonna be able to do none of that stuff around me. You know. If she thinks so, well, we'll go our separate ways. Yeah, because what I have going on, nobody's gonna come in my life and disrupt that and be like, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. No, I don't need to be doing anything. I need to be doing what I was doing before you got here. That's what I need to be doing. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't really get caught up into what everybody else is doing. Man, look, I told somebody the other day, I'm so locked in to what I got going on, I don't really know what the heck is going on with another man or another woman. I don't know. You know, I only know what's going on with other people when they bring it to me. You know, and all these, you know, the data and the stats. Like, man, how the stats is gonna help me? How the data is gonna help me? I done break the data many times. I've destroyed the stats. I've destroyed the stats many times. I beat the odds many times, over and over again. I've heard every stat, every, you know, I've heard every stat that someone could possibly come up with. I beat the odds so many times. So I don't care what the stats say or what the data say. I'm going to do my thing. You know, because, you know, some people be like, well, you know, they say within the first 3 to 5 years, most people quit. Okay, yeah. And within the next 5 to 7 years, they go out of business. Or they get a divorce. And after, when it hit the 10-year mark, 99% is gone. You know, they throwing the towel. Oh, okay, yeah. How the hell that's gonna help me? How that's gonna help us? You know what I'm saying? Hey, how's that gonna help us get better? That's all I want to know. Is that shit going? Oh, never mind. I had to plug my phone up. Bear with me for a second. Yeah, so how is all of this gonna help us get better? That's all I want to know. You know, I've heard all the stats and how we're doomed to fail and oh God, all the doom and gloom and it ain't gonna work and oh God, the loser mentality. Oh boy, I've beaten all the odds. You know, they say you ain't. It's never gonna happen. You ain't gonna do it. Yeah, and I beat it. I got it done. Now what? God, who raised these damn people? God damn. Losers. The loser mentality, man, out here. That's one thing I respect about my parents. They never told me I couldn't do it. They never told me I couldn't do it. And I don't even know if they realized I could do it. Or I couldn't do it. But they never told me that I couldn't do it. God. I'm telling you, boy. People don't believe in themselves. That's why they find themselves in certain situations. They don't believe in themselves, and they feel like they shouldn't have to compete. People are very entitled. They think they deserve certain things because their parents told them. You know. And then when that don't work, they look for alternatives. That's how they work. They look for alternatives. And then they get into all the weirdo shit. Going to swinger clubs and, going to private parties and getting this old weird relationships where you're pimping your wife out and all, pimping your girlfriend out to other guys or to other women. You're using your woman as bait for other guys or other women. That you secretly want to be with other women, but you use your woman as bait, so to get another woman and bring her home to you. But you perpetrating and acting like, oh, it's all about her. No, it's really about you. You just don't have the guts and the spine and the balls to be honest with your woman. But you perpetrating and acting like, oh, it's all about her. It's all about showing her a good time. Man, please. But the good news, I don't have to get in relationships like that. I don't have to use another woman as bait. The lure the women in to my advantage so they can come be with me at home. No, I don't have to do none of that shit. I don't need no help with none of that shit. I do that on my own. Always done that on my own. But there's a lot of guys out here that's very insecure. They'll use any means to their advantage. They'll use the wife, use the girlfriend as bait, whatever. They don't care. They'll even let their wife, if need be, check this out. They'll even let their wife sleep with the boss at work, if need be. That's how a lot of these guys get down out here. They don't cherish their wife or respect their wife like that. No, please. They'll let if their wife, look, if they can get promoted on that job, if the boss will somehow get to meet his wife one day, and the boss might say, hey, you got a nice wife, man. How long y'all been together? Well, we've been together for 15, 20 years. And if the boss said, hey, you got a promotion coming up, a position is open up, I'll put a good word in for you. Why don't you tell your wife, come visit me one night? Let me know if that interests you. He'll go for it too. Just like that. He'll go for it. That old chump will go for it. And his boss gonna be laughing at him after he done smashed his wife. They gonna be laughing at him. This clown. And he ain't ever gonna respect him. His boss gonna be laughing at him after he done smashed his wife. And then he probably still won't get promoted. You got played. And if you do get promoted, you ain't gonna be no extra money. He said, wild but true. Yeah, it is wild. It happens all the time, though. It happens all the time. These dudes, these guys, they'll put their wife on a pole if their money get low enough. Yeah, they'll do it. I've seen it. There's some women in the strip club. Some of them are married. Everybody ain't single that's on that pole. Yeah, all these dudes, man. Look, I remember when I went to Thailand for the first time, and I met a girl, and she supposedly was single. Turns out she was married. The whole time. The whole, 2 years she was married. And I didn't know it. Because, I never seen her family. I never met none of her family members. So, every time we would pull in, she would always meet me at the pier, wherever we pull in at. And she just came out and told me what it was, what type of marriage they had at the time. And I thought that was the weirdest shit. She said her husband basically look at it like this. Her husband look at it like it's probably best for her to talk to an American man because there's benefits that could come from that. That was his way of thinking. Because he's like, hey, you can go have fun with him, and at some point, maybe he can give you some money or some gifts, and we can use that to pay the bills. That was his thinking. That was his way of thinking. She never asked me for no money, but I didn't have no money to give her anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that's his way of thinking. And there's a lot of guys out here that think like that. Yeah. But hey, the good news is you can have any type of relationship you want with any woman. You just have to find the woman that's down for whatever that is. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not willing to do that. I don't want to pimp my woman out. I don't want to do that shit. Because this shit is, first off, I'm afraid of what might happen out there. I'm afraid of who she might meet out there. And that shit could come back on me, to my household where I live. So that's how I think. I'll be like, nah, don't bring it. I don't know that dude. Oh, no. Or I don't know I don't know that chick. The men and women are just as vicious today. So I'm like, oh, no, I ain't down with all that shit. That's dangerous territory for me. Because, see, I know people that have gotten set up like that. So I'm like, oh, no. If you're going to go that route and be with somebody else outside the house, you stay out there. Don't come back. Damn that shit. I don't care how I feel. Hey, you go ahead. I don't care if I had kids. If I had kids, we'll be all right. You go ahead. Don't come back. Shit, fuck that shit. Man, I'll find another woman to take care. To be stepmama. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Shit, nah, hell no. Nah, no. Nah, nah. Yeah, the game is raggedy out here. There's a lot of opportunities out here too. You got to be careful. Ain't no coming back. Hell no. No. You know. See, to me, it ain't really about. Some people say, "Well, you just don't. You down with that double standard. A man can do what he want, but a woman can't." Yeah, there's a lot of double standards out here. But I'm supposed to be the protector. You know, if you want to be a protector, that ain't gonna work. Because a woman will be attacked easily. You know, in this world that we live in, they don't take women serious like that. Man, if a man finds out that ain't no man around, if a man finds out that ain't no man around a woman, oh shit! In his mind, he start plotting and scheming. A lot of times, they'd be like, "She ain't got no man. Oh, we can take advantage of her." Shit, come on this parking lot. I got a brand new car for you. You want a house? Yeah. Yeah. Give her a call. She's single. We take advantage. We get a good deal off her ass. She don't know what the hell going on. Ain't no man around. Shit. Hey, that happens all the time. You know, ain't no man around. Oh shit, we're gonna take advantage of her. Put something in the drink while you at it. She ain't gonna pay attention. Go make her a drink. Put something in there. You know. Anyway, she alone. She ain't paying no attention. She kiki and caca and acting all goofy and silly. She don't even know we setting her ass up. We gonna tear that ass up tonight. You know, and then we gonna sell her a car next week. While we at it, shit. That's how it is if ain't no man around. Ain't no man around. Shit. They go to work on that ass. And a lot of women be so out of touch with what's really going on because they love their girlfriend. I'm like, your girlfriend was setting you up the whole time. Shit. And she over there and she having fun. You having fun, all right? They ran a train on that ass. Shit. That's a real man take advantage of. That's real men take advantage of women without a man. I date females who said every time mama got a new boyfriend, he went after them. Some guys prey on single mom. Yeah, they prey on single mom too. Oh yeah, that happens. Oh yeah, yeah. You got a lot of predators out here, bro. You know. See the reason why. See, a lot of guys know that single moms. A lot of single moms are desperate because they made so many bad decisions in life, so they're more prone to do certain things that single women without kids wouldn't do. We understand how that should work. So what happens is a lot of these guys are predators. Men and women are predators. So what they'll do is they'll put a single woman with kids in a position where she feels like she can't back out. She has to do it. Because, like I said, she done made such bad decisions in life. So it's kind of like, if she do back out, what's she gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So that happens a lot. If it ain't no man around, shit, that woman's in danger. Especially when you go overseas. Oh my God, that's even worse. You know, that's even worse, boy. Dudes overseas, you pick any country, they don't even want to talk to a woman. Like, hey, where your husband at? They don't even want to talk to a woman in all these other countries, bro. I've seen it. I've seen that. I've had a guy do that to me. I was with a girl, and I went to the restroom, and I came back, and she was like, "Hey, he wants to talk to you about what? About what?" I was looking at something over there, and she was like, "Hey, where your husband?" I said, "Damn, that happens. That shit is real." You know, so you just gotta be careful. A woman out here, a single woman out here, that's in her 30s and 40s, 50s. Boy, I can only imagine the mistakes that she's making. She don't even realize it. A lot of women in their 30s, 40s, and 50s, they don't even realize the mistakes that they be making and how they be being preyed upon. You know. Now they can kind of get away with it in the 20s because they still cute. They're still cute in the 20s. They kind of get away with it after, but over time, 30s and 40s and 50s start to hit. It's not going to end well. And this is why you have a lot of these women popping pills. They on some type of antidepressants or some shit like that. Or they on some type of narcotics. Yeah. Because a lot of them, what happened, let me tell you why, a lot of times why a lot of women are popping pills on some type of antidepressants. Because she done laid up with too many guys she didn't like. That's the truth. She done laid up with too many guys she didn't like. She done done too many things she didn't like doing. That's why she popping antidepressants. So she won't lose her fucking mind. That's what it's really come down to at the end of the day. She ain't gonna tell you that though. She ain't gonna tell you the guys she done laid up with or the women she done laid up with. She might have done it once or twice and never done it again. Because she felt dirty and nasty for laying up with a woman. That's the truth. That's why a lot of these women are popping pills. And then you got to go to that job she hate. She claims she loves that job, but she really don't. Because she got a deal on that job. She might be a teacher or a nurse or, have some type of job like that. She'll claim she loved the job, right? But I hate the staff. Well, hell, you don't like the job then. The staff is a part of the job. What are you talking about? Well, I love the kids. Yeah, but whatever, The staff is giving her hell on that job. And she got to pop pills to maintain her sanity. That's the truth. And being a nurse, same thing. It's the same thing. Teacher, nurse. It's the same thing. Believe it or not, I believe when you have sex with someone, you get a piece of their energy. After a while, different energies eventually affects your behavior. You better believe it. Everybody you sleep with, that every man a woman sleep with, she take that energy with her. Especially if he's evil and don't like her. And if she don't like him, that's even worse. And you know what happens? You know what happens? If she get lucky, if this is an act of, it's gonna take an act of God for her to find a find a guy that understands what we talking about right now. It's gonna take an act of God for her to meet the right guy that understands what we talking about right now. And he's gonna have to have patience with her. Because he's gonna have to basically strip her down. He's gonna have to strip her down of all all the bad energy that's inside her. He's gonna have to tear that ass up. I'm talking like, and he's gonna have to make her feel him inside and out. If she's lucky. Most guys ain't gonna stick around because she got too much baggage. Because by this time, she got kids and shit. I mean, like, man, fuck this shit. You know? Now, if she ain't had no kids, maybe the guy would be like, okay. And she's still 39, 40, okay, all right. You know, man, we can work it out. You know? But if she got kids and she got that bad energy, man, most guys, they gonna be up out of there. Man, fuck this shit. Let's go get a young bitch with no kids. Hell, all that shit. You know, hell, this shit. You know, and I can't blame them. You know what I'm saying? There's too much shit to deal with. And she probably be saying little sneak little shit, make little diss comments every now and then. And be like, hey man, wait a minute. You better cut. Hey man, what do you mean? You need to cut that shit out. You know what I'm saying? A little disrespectful shit. You're like, nah. Most will never find that guy. No, most won't. No, they won't. Because what's gonna happen is they're gonna give off bad energy, and the guy's gonna get away from her. They're not even give her time of the day. The only guys she gonna get is the guys that's just like her. The lowlives. That's the guys she gonna get, the lowlives. Check this out. I talk about this. I talk about this in my book. 500 pages of game, baby. There's 4 types of people you're gonna meet in this world. I talk about it, bro. There's the slow people. You ever been on? I use an analogy. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave. I use the interstate analogy. You ever been on I-85 on the interstate? And it's 4 lanes. It's 4 lanes on I-85 if you in Atlanta. There's a slow lane. Those are the slow people. That's the majority where most people live at. They're not bad people, but you know, they're a little slow. They kind of don't really know how shit work out here. Kind of, you know, they just kind of go on with the flow. They look at TV all the time. They believe everything they see. You know, it's them type of people. You know, they look at the reality show. They actually think the shit in the newspaper is real. They actually think the reality show is real. And them the people in the slow lane, right? And then you got the people in the middle lane. People that's, you know, they kind of know shit ain't right out here. Something going on. They can't explain it. Maybe they done seen some shit. They want to do something. They want to live a better life. They just haven't had the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? They're like opportunists, right? They're in the middle lane. And then you got the people in the fast lane, right? You know, these are the low lives. The people that's scamming, robbing, stealing. They might be out in the streets every once in a while, or they might be out in the street full time. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, these are the people, you can't trust them. You can't trust them around your kids, your family, your mama, your sister, your brother, you name it. You know what I'm saying? You can't even trust them with you. Because these are the low life. They might be D-boys, part of some mafia family. You just never know. They live in that fast life. You know, they party all the time, drink, get high, and fuck hoes. Who knows? Them the people live the fast life. And then you got the VIP lane, people that, you know, they pay to get access. They pay to play. They the movers and shakers in this world, crazy, beautiful world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? They not living fast, but they just like to get shit done. They get the deals. They know people. They pick up the phone and call people. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they fuck with you. Sometimes they don't. It just depends on where you got it going on and where you at in life. That's the VIP lane. You know what I'm saying? Now, at some point, if you're an opportunist and you trying to move up in life, at some point you're gonna meet a low life. It's not if you're gonna meet a low life, when. If you're on your way up, you're gonna run into a low life, or a wolf. Because the wolves are living fast. They living the fast life. You're going to run into somebody, you be like, hey man, who you think you talking to like that? You know? You're going to run into somebody, you be like, hey man, what are you trying to say, bro? You're going to run into somebody like that. At some point. And I don't care what profession you work in, or what job you work in, or where you hang out at. You might be at the nightclub. You're going to run into lowlives. You're going to run into some old weirdos, pedophiles. They'll be like, what the fuck? You know, it's going to happen. Especially if you go out a lot, go to the nightclubs, go to events, stuff like that. You're going to run into these type of people. So those are the four types of people you're going to meet in this life that we live in. I talk about it in a lot more details in my book. You know what I'm saying? Best-selling book. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of this shit, man. I put a lot in this. You know, it took me 5 years to get this book the way I wanted it to, man. You know what I'm saying? But hey, and this applies to online and offline. These are 4 types of people you're going to meet at some point, especially if you're a mover and a shaker. Especially if you're trying to make a lot of money, you trying to do some different shit, trying to do some fly shit, you're gonna meet all these types of people. That just comes with just living life. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's official like a referee with a whistle. You better know it. You better know it. You know? Yeah. But hey, that's all I got. I've been on here for an hour. You know? So share this episode. Don't forget to check out my book, Love Can't Wait, on Amazon.com. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.